Hey YouTube, this is Carl Dabo 1, David, back again for another quick review. I'm going to try and keep the next couple of reviews kind of short. My reviews of Divergent and Need for Speed. These were a couple of films that I saw at the movies recently, and I wanted to give my thoughts on them. First, Divergent. I really enjoyed this film. I really did. I am so out of it. I didn't even realize that this story is based on novels, a trilogy of novels by Veronica Roth, and that this is kind of a similar thing as what is going on with the Hunger Games, which I want to get this out of the way right now and press on with just what I saw in this movie, Divergent. I'm just not interested in the Hunger Games. I don't know if it was the trailer or what. The over-the-topness of the children in the arenas and stuff, and problems with acting that I could see even in the trailer. But anyway, if someone put the question to me, which do you prefer? Well, obviously, Divergent. There was something about the trailer for this film that intrigued me enough that I wanted to see it at the theater, and I'm glad I did. This rarely happens to me, but I'm most likely going to be getting into the books before too long. Maybe I'll even add them to those books that I mentioned in a previous video as a little reading list that I want to try and get done by a certain time. I've yet to work that out, but anyway, I enjoyed this film. It stars Shailene Woodley as Triss, Theo James as Four, Ashley Judd as Natalie, Jay Courtney as Eric. I've only seen him in a couple of things. I like his acting. I don't know. Haven't seen him in a whole lot yet, but there were several actors in this that I've seen in other things. The first time I've ever seen Theo James in anything, but I liked his character Four. I can't say if he portrayed it like the book, since I haven't read the books yet, but most likely, because I enjoyed this film so much, that I'm most likely going to be getting into the books. The actor who portrayed Triss's father, is it Tony Godwin? Yep, he's in it. I really liked his and Ashley Judd's parts in this movie, the parents of Triss, and the whole thing with the different classes. There's something that appeals as far as fictional stories go, and revolutions in society of equality and not being oppressed. There was something about this film that, just in the trailer, it was able to capture my attention and make me think, let's see what this story is about. Let's see how it's told. I really enjoyed it. You know what? I'm not going to go into the movie a whole lot, except just to say maybe a few spoilers. I'm not sure if the things that I might talk about here will be spoilers or not, but this movie really captured my imagination a little bit. I liked that there was a certain mystery that I don't think exists. I haven't seen the Hunger Games or read the books, but there's a certain mystery about this not too distant this future setting in this fictional world, of how I really like the ending about how they don't know what's outside of the city, how the different classes of people. I'm calling them classes. I think there was actually another word. Oh, yes, obvious mistake on my part. Factions. I think there's just 5 of them. Dauntless is the one that's coming to mind first, but abnegation, the selfless, I believe that's what Triss is in, that her family is, and that she was born into. Erudite, the intelligent, dauntless, the brave, amity, the peaceful, candor, the honest, and there was just I like that. I like that little. I like that in this story. It's a really neat thing, and the way that in this society people are forced to choose which faction that they're going to be into. Obviously, you're born into whatever faction you're born into, but the way there's a choice behind it, and the emotional weight of one scene in particular at the beginning when Triss has already gone through the test that you see in the trailer that is inconclusive for her, meaning that she's divergent, that she can't really be placed in any particular camp, and so her faction, which, if I'm not mistaken, it's been a couple weeks since I saw the movie, but I'm pretty sure she and her brother were abnegation. I believe that's right, and that her brother, I think, ends up choosing erudite. I think that's it, or is it amity? I'm not sure, but there was just such an emotional weight as her parents are looking on at the ceremony, thinking that at least their son for sure is going to pick the same faction as he's born into, and that his mother and father, and their expressions when it's like it's something that's been under the surface with him the whole time, that he wants to break free a little bit himself, even though he's portrayed before then as being all erudite, how he's going to stay with his mother and father and continue to live an existence of just helping people and being selfless. And when he chooses a different faction, it's a good scene in the movie. It's really good, and something that you're not really prepared for, or I wasn't, especially not having read the books, the way Triss chooses Dauntless. So just like that, they've lost both their children because you're not allowed to see your family ever again. And I'm like, man, what is this? At so many different points in the movie, I wasn't really sure about it. Like, what am I watching? But all in all, I really enjoyed this film. In Dauntless, Triss goes into, it's almost like, it's not really like a basic training type thing, so much as a lifestyle. Not that hardcore, but just brave, willing to do, and just act, and without fear. And so their training is kind of intense at times, but yeah, it's a really interesting movie. If you have a mind for these kinds of, that is, if you're interested in these kinds of movies, I say definitely go and watch this one, because it doesn't disappoint. It didn't disappoint me. I like the special effects, what special effects there are, the little bit of mystery that you get in the film, and again, the character of Theo, he's kind of a four. He's kind of a mysterious character. You're thinking that he is divergent himself and just has been able to maintain secrecy, because divergent people, those who can't be put in a particular faction, are deemed the most dangerous sort of individual and are subject for termination as soon as they're identified within society. And so it's just, he's the one in the trailer, he's got all the tattoos of all the different factions, saying, I don't want to just be one thing, I want to be selfless and kind and brave and help. And it's just a really neat thing, and there's something about that I like, a whole lot more than another offering that's being made out there right now in the movies. Again, I like this so much that I'm most likely going to get into the books. And then again, they say the movie doesn't do justice to the books, so that really tells me that the books must really be something if the movie didn't do justice, and yet I liked it this much. I know I won't be disappointed if I were to make that commitment to reading all 3 books. Yeah, Ashley Judd in this movie, and also Triss's father, just, it holds your interest really well. And you know what, I don't guess I'll go into many spoilers here or anything. I think I've already hit on a couple of the emotional points, the parting of ways, and then doubting whether or not she can really make it in Dauntless, or whether she'll be factionless, because there's a weeding out process. You have to be physically and mentally and brave enough to be in the brave faction, Dauntless. And so there's all this, like half the movie is her not thinking she's going to be able to make it in Dauntless, and it's a very interesting journey, and some of the betrayals and heartbreak along the way. I won't give any spoilers out there, but yeah, some people do things that it's a neat little story. It really is. And I will say one part of the movie that when they're starting to do well in their training in Dauntless, and she and her friend, what's that actress's name? I think I've seen her in something else. She is her friend. Is it Zoe Kravitz? Zoe Kravitz as Christina, a friend of hers, and well, really her good friend there in her training. She befriends her immediately, and you see her throughout the rest of the movie. When they, and others also, I think, start to really do well at the beginning. No, actually, it's still when they're being welcomed into Dauntless. They get their little welcome speech. I was actually scared to death, because there was something about the way they were being treated that reminded me of basic training that I went through in the military, and I just thought it's a trick, because they actually pick them up and like, welcome to Dauntless, you are one of us now, and all this stuff. They pick them up and they're carrying them on their shoulders, and their frowns turn upside down, and they're happy to be there in Dauntless. Like it's a scene where it shows that they really are loved, so long as they are what they need to be Dauntless, and have this willingness to become whatever they need to become to be part of the Dauntless faction. I still thought it was a trick. Like, okay, this is sick. They're getting them all happy, literally carrying them on their shoulders. Now they're going to throw them in some pit and make them fight each other to the death or something. But no, it actually is a good scene. And the music fades into some other part of the movie when it's ongoing training and they're having to do hand-to-hand combat, and it gets kind of gritty with again the constant threat or danger of being kicked out of Dauntless, not making the cut initially, and ending up being one of the factionless, like roaming the streets as a shunned person with no home, and just kind of bad. But yeah, it was a really good film, and I really liked some of the scenes when they put her in this. Again, so many of these movies I'm seeing recently all have this thing where you can actually see people's, whether it was RoboCop recently or where you can actually see people's mental projections, actually see inside their mind, visualize their dreams on a TV screen or something, or a monitor. And that's in this movie, and she's able to conquer her fears in record time. I think even faster than 4. And apparently he got his name 4 from being able to do something or other in like an average of 4 seconds. Or I'm not sure. I might be getting the meaning of his name wrong, but that nickname 4. Anyway, she's able to do it really quick, and he realizes that she's divergent and that they're both divergent. Something toward the end of the film, maybe it's explained better in the book, the genocidal episode that almost occurs and really is in the process of occurring before it gets really bad in the movie. I would have to, instead of watching the movie again, I'm probably just going to read the books, but the motivation behind the villain, who I'm just going to call her the villain because she was the one who was Kate Winslet as Janine, who was orchestrating it and making it happen. I'll have to go back and see exactly what her. Then again, it just kind of comes off as, well, she's at the top of this food chain and she's going to maintain order, even if it means killing innocent people, basically, who weren't really guilty of some things. That I'd have to go back, and again, instead of watching the movie again, I might end up just reading the books. But the whole, it happened kind of fast, and I didn't understand what that was about exactly, except that she's going to maintain order in her way and ultimately have one faction control what another faction used to control because they've been shown to be dishonest or something, which again I think that was a lie if I wasn't mistaken as I watched the movie. But anyway, it was very entertaining. I liked it a lot. There's tragedy. I cried at one point because of something that happens. Won't give any spoilers out. I was depressed and angry when somebody else did something, and so it's a full movie in my opinion. And again, no spoilers, but I also had nostalgic grins when she's passing her training at the end, and the little thing they do as a little congratulatory thing. They have her zip line across the old buildings of the city, and again, it's their home. The whole city is their home, and you don't know what's out in the city. It's not really revealed what happened to make society this way. It's just the movie opens up. It looks like, oh, I'll go ahead and say this. When the film opens up, it looks like maybe a nuclear bomb had hit, like a shockwave or something, shattered glass. There are these big fans, like generators or something, lining these buildings. Again, the book is, I'm sure, something that could tell me exactly what that's about, but buildings are in disarray. Some of them are like half falling down and stuff, and it's like this isn't really a pristine metropolis or anything. It's like it seems to be deserted, and then people start to show up. People are walking, and they're all clad in different garbs. Like each faction literally has their own style of dress to help help show who they are and who they're proud to be, because each faction this is who we are, and so forth. And some factions don't like other factions, and it's really interesting and very entertaining. I like the performances by Woodley, the one who played Triss, by Ashley Judd, Theo, really everybody in the movie. I just really enjoyed this film, and it was a treat for me at the movies to be able to watch something like this. The ending is, unfortunately, I had only learned that day when I went to see the movies that, oh, this is based on a book, and there are other books. Oh, great. Is this another franchise? Probably. And sure enough, the ending of the movie is kind of this uncertain thing. But then again, I'm hooked. And I'll tell you why. If only because they say today that particular city will never be the same, and yet they're kind of like outcasts now. They end up as like, whether they're factionless, you don't really know that. I think they kind of say that they are. Because they fall in love, as you can see, For and Triss. And the fact that you don't know what's outside the city, there's so much to be revealed, I feel like. And so, as far as first installments of a trilogy go, this was just really good, very entertaining, and I guess I'll just leave it at that and hope that if you're interested, this is kind of like I just said about the Son of God movie. If you're at all interested in seeing this, go ahead and watch it, because I'm definitely going to be getting more into it, whether it's a year or 2 years when they make the next film, which I know they will probably, or whether I go ahead and read the books, most likely, or audiobook them or something to get the actual author's story and the inspiration for this film in my head, because it's very interesting stuff. It has to do with society. It has to do with individualism, and that done in this way, this artistic fictional what if way. It's just really, it comes out really entertaining with entertaining characters. I think I'm intrigued. I am, and I don't usually open up to new things like this, but I'm glad I gave this a shot, and I'm looking forward to more of it. Again, the whole thing with the class system, the factions, and how it looks like hopefully by the end of this long story, which apparently there's more of it to tell, or in movie form, it's already been told in the books, I guess. I got to go find out what it is. How the equality of individualism will come about, I guess. How we can all be everything that we want to be, and not just one thing. And the whole speech that you hear from Kate Winslet in the trailer, the future belongs to those who know where they belong, which might in general be a good and helpful, maybe a true statement. and yet the context is that it's to the exclusion of being anything else or expressing yourself in any other way. And it's just, it's an interesting thing. I gotta go ahead and I gotta shut up. I gotta end this. I enjoyed this movie a lot. Looking forward to reading the books and seeing if they go ahead and make the other movies, which they probably will. And yeah, just enjoyed it a lot. And Divergent 2014. Thank you for watching this little review, and we'll see you in the next. Take care.